Okay, so I'll take that as a no. Guys, please do practice. Unless you practice on the portal, you are not going to learn many things, because when you practice on portal, then only you will get questions that why am I selecting this? Why is it coming like this? Why do we have these options? What am I supposed to select here? What does it mean? All these questions you will get only when you practice. If you don't practice, you are not going to get questions. If you are not getting questions, you are not getting answers. And if you are not getting questions and answers, then it is not helping you in your interviews. By the way, one of you from this batch has already got the job. He has cleared the interview. Uh, Day before yesterday, he had an interview. Uh, as of now, I'm not sharing the name and company name. A person is not comfortable with that. But yes, person has cleared the interview. And unfortunately, I cannot share the recording. I do have the recording. He attempted the interview here from my classes itself. So I do have the recording, but unfortunately, I cannot share it because candidate's name is there for too many times and company's name is also there in that recording. It's not possible for me to trim all the names, etc. So I'm not able to share, but I was there and all the questions which he was asked, all the questions were from the same topics which we have been doing. Not a single question I experienced which we did not practice yet. All the questions, be it networking, VNet pairing, hub and spoke, subscription, IAM, RBAC roles, backup, whatever we have been discussing, all the questions were related to the same topic. I mean, they were obviously they were not asked easily. Maybe some twist here, some tweak there. But if you know the topic properly, you should be able to answer. All the questions were based on the same topics which we have been discussing. Right. So please do practice, guys. Please do practice the questions which I share. Do practice the task which I assign you to complete. Please do that. It will really help you to clear your interview. Right, so let's go ahead and start with our next section in storage itself. So let me quickly recap. I feel that you guys have not practiced. So whatever we have been doing till now, we saw the basics of storage. What is storage? What is database, etc. That is here. That is I'm expecting you to do it. It's not a part of Azure, so I'm not covering this. I have already given you the shortest video. I had to see at least 10 videos to recommend one, and I've given you the video. So at least spend this much of time and read these details and watch this video, and you will understand what are the database, what is a storage account, etc. Right, and after that we specifically discussed about Azure storage. Under Azure storage, we saw that how many types do we have. We have LRS, we have ZRS, we have GRS, we have RAGRS, right? And these all these details we do have. After that, we saw that how many types of accounts we have. I think nowadays I told you general purpose V1 version 1 it's gone, it's only V2. So this question is it won't be there anymore, that how many types are there. But what are the services do we have in storage account? So we have blob, we have queue, we have table, and we have file share. We saw that, right? We saw that on the portal. We haven't created them yet. And then we saw creating a storage account, what all options are there. We saw those options. Then we checked that if I take LRS, it is going to cost me something different compared to ZRS, compared to GRS. So every time I take another service, I am paying something extra because I'm creating some extra copies, some extra redundancy. But the lowest one which I can take is LRS. And this we saw in our Azure calculator. Right, we saw that. And what else did we see? Yeah, I think that's all we have seen. So do you guys have any questions on these topics? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe any doubts, any questions on whatever we have covered till now? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I thought you guys are not able to hear me. So guys, clearly I can see you have not practiced. Please do practice, guys. Later on, it will be too much for you to read. If you have this plan in your mind that यार मैं इसको बाद में पढ़ लूंगा, सब कर लूंगा, so trust me on this. This will be too much for you to cover. I am planning to finish the batch by December, because in January once everyone come back from the holiday and everything, you do see a hike in hiring and you will have interview calls. So I want to finish all the topics, technical topics, etc., everything in interview preparation before January. So I want to finish everything by December end. So if we are doing that, you guys will have to start your interviews by January. So if you have to start your interviews by January, you'll have to start reading from today itself. You cannot have this plan that I'm going to read these 300 questions uh, on the day when I get the invitation. That's how I have been experiencing. People do that. That today they have got the invitation, that tomorrow you have interview, and then today they will sit and start reading everything. That is not going to help, guys. So please do read. So if you guys do not have any questions here, let me go ahead and open the storage account. I'll just show it to you one more time. Maybe something comes to your mind and maybe you remember something. Let me show you the storage account. Unfortunately, I can't see my subscription. Look at this, guys. I don't know how to figure out this error. Maybe just log off and log in may work. And now I can see the subscription. Let's see if I can see my resources. I was logged in with the same ID. Okay, did not do anything, but still I was not able to see any of my subscription and any of my resources just a minute ago. What I had to do is just a refresh, or maybe a log off and log in. So don't take everything to the granular level that everything has been erased. You'll have to reboot, or you'll have to restore it from Azure, etc. Maybe just a log off and log in might help you. So here, if I go ahead and open this account, I'm just giving you a refresher that what all have we have discussed. Well, let's create a new storage account. It will give you the same page what we have been discussing. So do you guys remember all these details? Storage account name should be, what are the conditions for storage account name?
Minimum 3 characters
It should be in
and
lowercase.
in lowercase.
No
What
special
else?
character.
What else?
Should be unique.
Unique,
And it is
global
unique.
unique.
Should be unique, yes. That is the first thing you should remember. Then I hope you know all these details by now. LRS, GRS, right? So let's go ahead with LRS. I explained what is REST API. Anonymous access, we have discussed this. Intra one, we are not doing it. Version, I told you that if you don't understand what are these versions, it's okay. But you should remember that how many are there. You should not be saying that, okay, yes, we are using version 9 in our TLS version 9 in our current setup. Immediately your interviewer will know that you are faking it. Why? Because there are only three versions, 1, 1.1, 1.2. Now you say anything, even if you say one, though it's very legacy and no one uses it nowadays, you can make a story that our application is very old. It has been coded on an old platform, and it is a requirement of application. Hence, we are using one. But you should not be saying anything which is incorrect. For example, 1, 1.1, 1.2. These are the only versions we have available. If you say I'm working on version 5, then it becomes very evident that you are faking, right? What does it do? You don't have to worry about it. Then we saw networking, that from where this should be accessible. I told you about the uh, internet, then selected virtual networks or disable it completely. All these are public access, by the way, guys. Okay, even if I do it here, this is being accessed on public network. Okay, though it is coming from one of my virtual network and my subnet, but I explained it to you in last session that how the traffic is traveling over the internet. But if I disable this completely, then the public access is gone. This is complete public access. This is public access from selected virtual network. And here the public access is completely gone. But if public access is gone, then you should give some sort of access. That is where you give private endpoint. If you guys remember the diagram I showed you. Though this should not be the case, guys. Revision, I'm expecting you guys to do it at your end. If we keep on spending time on revision, then we will miss on new topics. Okay, let it open, then I'll show it to you. So do you guys have any questions here before I start something new for today? Do you guys have any questions? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe.
No questions, sir.
What about others, guys? Are you getting it?
No questions.
Yes.
Okay, I hope you guys are getting it. Storage is important topic. Please do not take it lightly. Okay. Soft delete, I've explained. This is soft delete for blobs. Blobs, let's consider them as your files. Okay. Blobs are your files. Okay. Days to return blobs. Then this is container. Container, let's consider them as folders. They're not exactly folder because you have an option to create folder in containers also, but let's consider them as folders. So these are your folders, blobs are your files, so do not get confused. Then what is a file share? File share, I will explain it to you, but I hope by now you know that what all do we have. We have container, we have file share, we have queue, and we have table. Okay? And we saw how to create a storage account, and all these options we saw. So before we go ahead and look for further practical, let me clear few theory parts. One of them is access tier. Okay, now I will be showing you the practical, but first understand the theory part of it. What is access tier? And I told you it impacts the pricing also, right? If you guys remember, like here we saw, if I take a storage account, and 10 GB, East US, everything is same. If I take LRS, 17 rupees. If I take GRS, ZRS, 21. GRS, 38. This is how the pricing is increasing. This was one factor we checked. The another one, if you remember, I told you in last session, is access tier. So look at this. If I keep hot, I'm paying 17. If I make it cool, then I'm paying 12. If I make it cold, this is something new. I've not seen cold. So let's stick to hot, cool, and archive. If I'm paying, keeping it in archive, look at the difference, guys. The drastic difference. 10 GB, hot, $17. Cold, $3. Archive, it's not even a $1, it's 80 cents. Is it clear, guys? How it is impacting the price?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's see what it is. When I say hot, what does it mean? When I say cool, what does it mean? And when I say archive, what does it mean? So access tier, it means that how frequently you're planning to access that data. Now understand, Azure is not going to tell you that what should you use. It's you as an again here architect team will talk to application team or business owners, and they will understand that what kind of application they are using. They will suggest something, but even you should know that what is the reason behind it, what is the rationale, and what is the logic behind it. When I say hot tier, so hot tier is good for data which is accessed frequently. Why is it good? Because storage cost, it is highest. It is a little bit higher. Storage cost is higher, but the access cost is lower. For example, VHD. VHD is nothing but your virtual machine's disk, because you're logging in many times, so you access that data. Or it could be any data. Let's say storage account, and I am uploading my wallpaper data. So my wallpaper data, it is being accessed frequently. People will go ahead, they will browse, they will download. So it is being accessed frequently. So for data like this, I am going to choose access tier as hot. Why am I doing that? Because my here the storage cost is a little bit higher, but I'm okay with that. But the frequently accessed data, the lowest price we have for access. So my data is frequently accessed data. Hence, I'm choosing this one, hot tier. Is it clear, guys? That what kind of data will you put in hot tier?
Sir, can I get example like anything?
I
Like,
just gave you one example, right? My wallpapers, because you guys are
okay.
using it completely. Now you fit in any data, up to you. If you're looking for a live real-time example, maybe Amazon's data, Flipkart's data, because even if you're not buying, you will go ahead and frequently you will go ahead and check whether iPhone is in stock, what is the price, has price dropped or not. You're frequently accessing that data. So any e-commerce site, a data like e-commerce, they will use or they should use hot tier. Why? Because the more you access the data, they are being charged. Understand, as a customer, you are accessing data, but someone is being charged for that. Who's being charged? The person who has kept the data. So that person or company who has kept the data, they know that it is our business model that people will check data. It is mostly accessible data. Hence, let's select a tier where I will get lowest charges. So hot tier, it's a good tier for data which is being accessed frequently. An example could be e-commerce. It could be bank also. People do log in, check their balance, transfer some amount. It could be bank also. Is it clear, guys? Hot tier.
Yes, sir.
Now next is cool tier. Now cool tier, the data accessed infrequently. It is good for which kind of data? The data which is accessed infrequently. Here the storage charges are lower. However, the access charges are costly. So will I put it in something like this, in this tier? Is it feasible or is it sensible option to put data which is being accessed frequently? Let's say that I have some data and my customers are accessing that data frequently. So is cool tier good for me?
No.
No. Why? Because it has higher access cost. So here I will put certain data which is being accessed very rarely. Very rarely. It could be anything. It could be your ITR data. Now, honestly, you guys tell me, how many times do you check your ITR or Form 16, etc.? How many times do you check that?
When we required it.
Exactly. Maybe once a year, twice a year maximum. Whenever you have to file something, maybe take a loan or something. So very infrequently you access that. So for income tax department, it's a good idea to put that data in cool tier. Why? Because now they're saving their data and they're paying less for data. Why? Because the storage costs are less. So their storage is in TBs, but they're paying less because in this tier, storage costs are less, but the access fees are more. But they know that the data is not being accessed on regular basis. Maybe daily someone is accessing, that is fine. Maybe daily 10,000 people are accessing, that is okay. But not all of them are accessing the data on all the days. Like Flipkart or Amazon, all of them are accessing in single day. You will open Amazon or access just to check price, just to check whether it is in stock, what colors are available, how much did I buy it for, how much did you buy it for, features, video, etc., etc. For some reason, you will be accessing their data on frequently basis. So keeping that data in cool tier doesn't make any sense, but keeping the ITR data in cool tier, it does make sense. Is it clear, guys? Hot tier and cool tier.
Yes.
Now, the last one we have is archive. On portal, we are looking at one more cold. I don't know about that because I saw that today itself. That's a new feature maybe. So let's ignore that as of now. Even if you talk about these three, it's more than enough. But still, I'll go ahead and check what is that cold. What is the difference between cool and cold? We'll go ahead and check that once. I'll explain it to you later. So the third tier is archive tier. Now, archive, you will not get directly at the first time. I mean, hot and cool, you will get these options while saving the data, while creating the data. But archive, you will get once you have saved your data, then you can archive something. Now, what is the benefit or drawback of the archive tier. Benefit you have already seen, where you are paying $17. Here you're just paying $1, less than $1 for 10 GB data, right? That is one benefit. However, the drawback is that you cannot access the data at all. Whatever data is there in your archive drive, you cannot access this. Then you will say, why should I keep it if I cannot access it, right? Why should I keep the data? So when I say you cannot access it, you cannot access the data till the time it is in archive tier. So if you want to see your data, first you will have to change the tier from archive to cool, and then you can access your data. And this process of changing the data, it takes a lot of time, sometimes a day, sometimes it might take 8 hours, 16 hours. Right? So to access the data, you will have to convert the archive drive to cool drive or hot drive, and then you can access the data. But just you want to keep the data over there for years, you can use archive data. You are paying very less on that. Now, what kind of data will you keep in that? For example, RBI has rules that banking sector should save their customers' data for 7 years. But bank has observed that rarely someone is asking for that data. Neither customer is asking that old statement, nor bank, nor RBI. No one is asking, nor loan people. Loan people, they are asking maximum 6 months data. Customers, they look for just 1 or 3 months statement. So this 7 years of data, just because they are not accessing, that does not mean I can delete it, because there are some compliance government rules. I have to keep the data for 7 years, but no one is accessing that. So let's keep that data in archive tier. So I'm paying very less. And if there is an issue, there is some police complaint or some financial crime or anything, or maybe some authorities requesting the data, or for customer is requesting the data, that for some reason I need 5 years old data, so bank will have it, but bank will not be able to produce it immediately. They will give the tag that this is old data and it will take some time to retrieve. So this is how it works. Is it clear, guys? Hot, cool, and archive.
Suhail, so moving archive data to cold tier, does it also cost effective or like
It is not cost effective. The moment you put it in coal, you're paying for a coal tier, but you will put it only for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours or maybe 1 day, because you are going to use that data just for 1 day. Once you have downloaded everything, again you can move it back to archive.
okay, got it.
But yes, cost
Sir,
is
it's
involved there.
Sir, it means first we have to keep in archive, then when we required, so we have to change the process to cool or hot, like
Right.
you are saying.
Right, not
Okay, I
process. It is
understand.
called access tier. It has
Access
a
to.
specific name. Yes, I would appreciate if you use that, because your interviewer will not understand the process. He or she will specifically ask for access tier, and you guys will should use access tier. So it is called, it is hot, cool, and archive. Cold is there. Let's ignore it as of now. I will go ahead and check what differences are there, right? And when it comes to archive, में भी उन्होंने थोड़ा सा एक concession दे रखा है, that if you want to retrieve the data of 10 GB, you can do it at the uh, high speed, but charges are there. Definitely charges are there, but you can do that at the high speed. And I think now this limit has changed to 15 GB. These are all notes. I'll go ahead and check once, but I think this has changed to 15 GB. So if I keep it in archive tier, look at this. I'm just paying 82 cents, not even $1 for monthly. Now look at this. Write options, 108 rupees. And here if I select hot, look at this, write options. Write and read as in accessing data. You are accessing something, you are writing and reading the data. So this is how the cost is changing. Got it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts, any questions in the tier, this part?
Yes, Selvi, once we created SSR in Cool, can we later change it into host or archive?
Yeah, that's what I just explained, right? You will have to.
Okay. No, no, not in the archive first, first in the Cool one, and then can we later change it to the host one or
Yes, yeah, you
anything?
can change anytime, whatever, from anything to anything, you can change. And to
Okay.
have a good design, you will have to do that. While we are on this topic, let me cover one more thing. A question may appear uh, like this, or that what is the life cycle management, data life cycle management. A person may ask this question, or they may give you a scenario that I have a data, a banking data or any data. Initial 15 days, my customers are accessing that data very frequently. And then after 13 days or after 30 days, they start accessing that data infrequently. And after that, no one bothers about it, but I can still not delete it. I cannot delete it. So if I keep it in hot tier for all 45 days or 2 months, I'm paying extra. If I keep it in cool tier, I'm still paying extra because sometimes they are accessing the data a lot. And if I keep it in archive, I'm still paying extra. So what am I supposed to do here? Do you have some suggestion? So to answer to that, yes, there is a term called data life cycle management. Now, what is data life cycle management? I'll show it to you on the portal. What does it do? It gives you an option to create a plan for your data. For example, I am uploading a file today. This file should go in hot tier. After 15 days, automatically that file should move to cool tiers. And after 30 days, automatically that file should move to archive. That option we have on the portal, I will show it to you. But this all process, this is called life cycle of data, life cycle management of data. Is it clear, guys? So question may come in two scenario. One is they will simply tell you what is life cycle management of data, please explain it. Or they may tell you that this is the business problem I have, this is sort of business I have. So what solution do you have? That I don't want to keep on paying extra, so what do you have for me? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe, any doubt, any questions here? No questions, no doubt, guys. Should we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have 7 minutes left. Let me show you something on portal, and then once we come back, we'll create another storage account from scratch, and I'll show you all these details. By the way, let's just understand one hierarchy while we are here. So when we talk about storage account, at the top layer, we have storage account here. This is the storage account. Under storage account, we have containers, we have file share, we have queues, and we have table. So this is your, the green one, the bigger one is your storage account. Ignore the color coding here, or let's. Okay, we have less time. So this is storage account, the green one. This is your container. The black one is your container. Then you have queue. Then you have table. And then you have file share. There's no color coding on Azure, by the way. This is just for your understanding. Under container, then we have blobs. In the container, we have blobs.
So blobs means it's a files,
File.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Blobs are file. Clear, guys? Is this clear till here?
Sir,
Yes,
files,
sir.
it's means like data, right? Inside, you
Yes.
can say
Data is
data, right?
within the file. File is combination or a collection of data. It could be video file, audio file, a notepad, anything. It could be anything, image or anything.
Mhm. Okay, sir.
Now understand, guys, the access tier, where can we apply? Where can we apply the access tier? Can I apply it on blob? Where can I apply it? So let's say when I create storage account, if I'm creating a storage account, let's say if I do get an option to select a tier. Did you guys see any option for tier?
No. Okay.
Yeah, it is here, right here.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
see here.
So we can select it at storage account level. And I told you archive will not appear, right? Archive will not appear immediately here. It will appear when you go to blob level. So you can you can access this, or you can decide it at the storage account level, that which one do you want. If you select hot, all your files and container etc will be created in hot, though you can change them. Now let's go to account, and when I go to account, if I go to container, under container, if I go, this is a container and then I am in a blob. As of now, I'm in container. Look at this. At blob level, you are again getting the option hot. Inferred as in, because I've selected hot on storage account. If I've selected cool, you will see cool here. I mean, whatever you have selected on the storage account, it will inherit on container and your file. But you can come here and change this. So you do get an option at your storage account level, and then you get an option on your blob level. Is it clear, guys, to everyone? Your storage account completely can be hot, and one file, if you want just one file archive, you can do that. It is possible. It is not that everything, whatever is there, it is that will apply here. That is not the case. By default, that will apply, but you can change it wherever and however you want. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about access of the data, but we have only 1 minute left. So let's do that once we rejoin the session. So do you guys have any questions? Let me know. So we discussed access tier, we discussed lifecycle management, we discussed the scope of access tier. We discussed hierarchy of your storage account, that what belongs to what. We have storage account. Under storage account, we have containers, we have file share, queue, table. Under containers, we have blobs. And if you want, you can have a folder also. Under container, you can directly have blob, or you can have folder also. So if I go to, this is a container. If I go to container, I can directly have a blob, or I can have folder also. Look at this. If I click on upload, here I can create a folder also. Okay, only 30 seconds are left. I'll stop the session. See you guys in 5 minutes, 14:45, using the same link. We'll resume.